The foremost individual scientist named Sebastian is proven on the begin of the movie. He turned into a scientist who invented a remedy after experiencing a protracted struggle, through which he may want to vanish any organism together with people and animals. But he didn't invent a remedy that could flip again the invisible matters. He were running in this undertaking for 1 year. So he can also additionally achieve turning the disappeared matters again. He struggles tough on it and eventually his attempt bears fruit. It method he turned into a success in inventing a remedy that would resurrect the disappeared matters. In truth, he had disappeared many animals with the serum to make the matters invisible, which he desired to show again. When he turned into a success in inventing it, he shared it with every other co-worker scientist. And he invitations them to laboratory. They're turned into a gorilla which turned into made invisible. After a tremendous attempt, they first knock it out. Afterwards, its toes and arms are fixed to the bed, putting it in a mendacity position. They inject Sebastian's made remedy to it which turned into invented to opposite the invisible matters. It faces a lot problem while the drugs is injected into it through them. Because its coronary heart price is increased. Witnessing its situation, it turned into seeming that gorilla will now no longer survive. But they are trying to store it even as stunning its coronary heart. Consequently, gorilla's coronary heartbeat starts to be normal. Slowly his complete frame turned into recovering. And the gorilla absolutely takes over its frame. Being a success in doing so, they're so excited. Because their innovations and experiments were given success. Here it Smiles discovered that each one experiments had been being performed for army. Their assembly is held with army. Sebastian tells a lie that he nevertheless has now no longer received any success. And he asks for extra time to get success. Military publicizes which you have already taken a lot time. We will recruit every other at your area in case you display no improvement. Coming outside, Sebastian's pals named Linda and Matthew ask him, "Why did you inform a lie with inside the assembly which you did now no longer acquire success? Even you've got were given the success." He says, "It is due to the fact I need to check this remedy on any individual." And Sebastian himself turned into that challenge individual now no longer anybody else. He arranges an assembly together along with his different co-people. He additionally tells a deceive his co-people, that army has accepted us to check this remedy at the people. In truth, the fact turned into different. He says, "I need to check it by myself frame." Linda and Matthew additionally help him on this matter. Even it isn't always as such however a lie. Sebastian makes his frame injected with that remedy. As a result, he feels a lot pain. At last, he's vanished. But he additionally loses his awareness at the side of it. He takes 17 hours even as restoring his awareness. Coming into senses, he turned into locating Tuffet to bear light. He asks to exchange off the light. Then all lighting fixtures are switched off. Sebastian turned into invisible absolutely. His frame is tested. It is clear, there's not anything worrying in his frame. All of the ladies inside the region had been uneasy and stressed. Because they had been sensing Sebastian's presence of their surroundings. 3 days have passed, now it turned into the time to show Sebastian seen. They inject him that remedy that could make him seen. Sebastian once more faces problem. The maximum devastating factor is this, he cannot flip himself seen. And he is in important situation. He is closer his death. Finding no way, they mask Sebastian so he can be seen earlier than anybody. Sebastian were given irritated due to this. He argues Matthew even as shouting at him. He says, "You have pained me sufficient inside 10 days after burning me with inside the light, I am best one to bear this pain." Sebastian turned into now no longer becoming seen so his mental situation turned into additionally worsening. Being invisible, he turned into stressed so yearned to depart from here. One day, Sebastian leaves the laboratory vexatiously. He without delay involves his residence. Coming to residence, he observes his neighbor female, who were the point of interest of him a few years ago. Sebastian unmasks himself. He ear-rings that female residence's doorbell, There isn't anyone while she opens the door to check. Being invisible, he enters her residence. Linda catches the sight of Sebastian's masks, coming to his residence. Witnessing it, she is frightened. Linda returns to the laboratory. And she holds assembly together along with her different co-people. That Sebastian isn't always chance loose for us due to the fact he turned into wandering without masks in Nation of Invisibility. At the equal time, Sebastian methods there. Linda threatens that if he does it once more, she can be able to document a criticism with the army. Then Sebastian has the same opinion with Linda. But there has been nevertheless a worry of their hearts. Because Sebastian turned into bizarre psychologically. They determined to maintain a watch on Sebastian each time. They're turned into a digital digicam with inside the laboratory that would come across Sebastian even in his invisible situation. Sebastian turned into conscious that he's being watched. So he cannot go away this laboratory now. He performs preceding recording even as growing trouble with inside the digital digicam pudding. So others can also additionally think, he's nevertheless with inside the laboratory. Doing so, he is going out of the laboratory. And he without delay actions to Linda's residence. Going there, he involves recognize approximately the affair among Linda and Matthew. He loses his mood due to the fact he had affectionate emotions for Linda. He breaks the window glass of her residence in suit of fury. Looking outside, Linda unearths no one. She suspects that he can be Sebastian. She calls to the laboratory to make certain it. And an lively employee with inside the laboratory informs Linda, Sebastian is here. Because there may be nevertheless an in-advance recording gambling with inside the background. When Sebastian turned into on his bed, mendacity. So he thinks that Sebastian is there, however simply he isn't always. Returning again to laboratory, Sebastian is in rage. He kills a canine there. When the veterinarian returns tomorrow to serve meals to the animals, she unearths the useless canine. She asks Sebastian approximately it, are you liable for it? Sebastian replies, I do not know even a piece approximately it. Making it sure, she examines all of the video recordings. But she does now no longer get a unmarried point. Sebastian once more visits Linda's residence at night. And Linda feels the presence of Sebastian there. She suspects, there is actually someone. At this time, she herself is going to laboratory for investigation. Then she is aware of that Sebastian has attempted to defy them. Because Sebastian isn't always present. Then she comes to a decision to inform her senior medical doctor approximately it. Visiting that senior medical doctor, Linda and Matthew display the entirety to him. Being furious, that medical doctor excludes Linda and Matthew from this undertaking. That medical doctor turned into going to expose it to his different co-people as each go away. But that telecell smartphone had turned out to be unresponsive. Meanwhile, Sebastian reaches there. He kills the senior medical doctor even as drowning him. Next morning, Sebastian once more involves the laboratory. Linda and Matthew turned into looking forward to the decision of that senior medical doctor. Because it turned into the assembly day. There isn't any name from the senior medical doctor due to the fact he turned into no extra. Then Linda calls to that medical doctor to recognize. Then she involves recognize that medical doctor is useless due to being drowned. Then Linda comes to a decision to open the truth of this undertaking to everyone. Because Sebastian's invisibility turned into best recognized to his laboratory co-workers. Rest of the humans had been unaware approximately it. But no door become opening. Because Sebastian had deactivated the door locks codes. There become most effective Sebastian's code which become operating. They determined to capture Sebastian at any value due to the fact he become nonetheless in that laboratory. Sebastian kills one of the ladies amongst them who returns to laboratory on the way to take her left thing. They had information that Sebastian will give up them 1 through 1. Because he did now no longer need to show the truth of his invisibility to anyone. They come across Sebastian's vicinity via a tool located inside the laboratory. 2 humans pass there to capture him. One of them is Matthew and different is his pal. Sebastian injures Matthew's pal there. Matthew additionally fires his gun on Sebastian. But he receives no harm. And his form seems there and he flees from there. Matthew's friend's blood become lots wasted, so the blood is needed for him. Then Linda's pal is going to set up blood and Sebastian additionally procedures there. And he ends that girl. At the identical time, Matthew's pal additionally meets his fate. Now there have been most effective 3 survivors, which includes Linda, Matthew and one in every of their friends. Now they look for Linda's pal who had long gone to set up blood. They discover her frame inside the bloodless room. Moreover, 0.33 survivor except Linda and Matthew is likewise killed with an iron rod through Sebastian. Sebastian additionally injures Matthew whilst he exerts to store his pal. He leaves Linda and Matthew in freezer bloodless room and activates it. He leaves them there and is going away. He desired to give up them due to the bloodless temperature. And the freezer's temperature become regularly bringing down. But Linda attempts to crack the door courageously, however of no avail. Being injured, Matthew is unconscious. Now Sebastian comes at the scene who receives equipped properly. He makes a bomb, the usage of a chemical. Then he leaves after placing its timing. On the opposite side, Linda become additionally suffering to interrupt the door, the usage of electromagnet. And at this time, she is succeeded and the door is unlocked. She brings Matthew out from there after unlocking the door. And she inflames close to him due to the fact his frame had frozen. Now Linda actions to that vicinity in which Sebastian is present. Sebastian become inside the elevator. Linda procedures there whilst elevator's door is ready to close. Linda has a fire thrower, so she makes use of it to burn Sebastian. Sebastian become wrapped in flames. And his frame become additionally burning regularly. Being competitive and wounded, Sebastian desired to take revenge from Linda. He desired to complete her in any way. Then Linda activates the extinguisher. As a result, water begins off-evolved falling from there. Now Sebastian become little visible. And he starts off-evolved to give up Linda pathetically. Keeping his foot on her neck, he attempts to choke her. Holding an iron rod, Matthew arrives there whilst Linda is almost to die. And he hits Sebastian's head with that iron rod. Consequently, Sebastian falls down there. Matthew lifts Linda up and each start to go away from there. Sebastian who become nonetheless alive, alternatives up that iron rod. He is sort of to hit Matthew with that rod that he receives awareness. While seeking to push Sebastian, the rod makes touch with an electric-powered cable, inflicting an electric-powered surprise to be transmitted to Sebastian's frame. As a result, Sebastian is knocked out there, falling down. Then Matthew and Linda pass to an area in which Sebastian had constant the bomb. Both had understood that they have got a brief time. And they cannot prevent the explosion of this bomb. And in addition they need to depart this vicinity, however they couldn't break out via elevator. Because Sebastian had deactivated the operation of elevator. So they climb the ladder that is with the elevator. The bomb is exploded as they're climbing.